Oh, you make it sound so easy. I wish I wasn't so scared.
George, there's nothing to be scared of. All it takes is a little self-confidence. You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
How is it going to feel when your dreams become a reality? Go there. You go there, whatever it is.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. If you can do anything you want, you are bound by nothing.
If you believe that what you say will happen, you will get whatever you say.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past, or how lofty your aims and hopes may be.
You focus on the negatives in another person, what kind of energy do you think you're taking on? What kind of a vibration do you think you're in? It might be a wise idea to focus on the good aspects of even the worst situation.
I feel that I have the power to create my own destiny. I try to visualize every single thing in my life, not only believe it, but really feel it with every cell in my body. And I just want to send a message out there to every young person. Be in the present moment. Forget about what happened in the past. Future is something that is just going to happen. But if you want a better future, you create it. Take the means in your hands. Believe it. Create it.
If you say it enough times, it will become so. It really will, because you will be changing your thinking. It'll change your belief about yourself. And when your belief about yourself changes, the way the universe reacts to you will change. When I learned to use my mind for me instead of against me, it made a big difference.
Anything, everything that you can imagine is somewhere, somewhen, somehow a reality, a real reality.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them.
If you concentrate on the good and you concentrate on nothing but good coming to you, that's what's going to come. The thing that you will attract is what you focus on. Focus on the good that you desire. Start to see it coming into your life. And a couple of times a day, sit down, let yourself relax, and give thanks for all the good that's coming into your life, and see all the good that you want coming into your life.
Everything starts with thought. So you must be wise and careful what you think about, because that starts everything. I asked the kids, what would happen if somebody dropped sugar in my coffee? They said, well, you'd be okay. I said, what if somebody dropped strychnine in my coffee? They said, well, you'd be dead. I said, correct. Lesson 1. Life is both sugar and strychnine. You gotta be careful. I said, what if my worst enemy drops in the sugar? They said, well, you'd be okay. I said, what if my best friend, even by accident, drops in the strychnine? They said, well, you'd be dead. I said, correct. Lesson 2. Watch your car. You gotta be careful. See, it doesn't matter who hands you the bad stuff. It doesn't matter where you get the bad stuff. It'll still do its damage on your bank account. Wherever you get it.
Negative mental attitude can bring you nothing but failure. Remember always, you are where you are and what you are because of your mental attitude in which you relate yourself to other people. Remember also, your mental attitude is the one and the only thing over which you have complete control.
If you want to achieve something or you want to do something, you got to speak it into existence. So like say you want a car or you want something or you want to be successful or whatever, just keep talking about it. You know what I mean? Just keep on believing in yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Speak things into existence. I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
You can almost visually create your entire world. No, not almost. You actually can. You can.
Poor thinking habits keep most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. He quoted me a Bible phrase that says, as you think, So you become.
The more you commit yourself to becoming the best person you can be, the more you like yourself and respect yourself, the more energy you have, the bigger goals you set for yourself, the more you persist. When you invest in yourself and you read and learn and upgrade your skills, you're telling yourself, wow, I am a person with a great future, and it's up to me to maximize my potential. And your self-esteem goes up, your self-respect goes up, your sense of personal pride goes up, and you start to get promoted more and paid more in every part of your life.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start. Why not? Who's gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Everybody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, mama, you must be right. No, mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry. He showed it to you.
We become what we think about most of the time. And that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important. Because we will become that. This is why people who set goals achieve them. The trouble with men is not in achieving their goals. They do that. It's in establishing them.
It's the universe's job to do anything you want, to give you anything you want. But they said you have to ask, what is it you want in your life? Write it down in detail so that if you were to visualize it, you could see it, you could hear it, you could even smell it. The more detail you can put into the mental picture of what you want to create, the more easy it is for them to know what you want. Give an exact picture of what it is, release it to them, and we just sit back and watch the magic.
All the experts are agreed that in each of us, there are deep reservoirs of ability, even genius, that we habitually fail to use. Why? We know that most people desire by nature to succeed. But what is success? What is this word that has become so famous in the world? What does it mean? Most people don't know what success is all about. And since they don't know what it's about, they really don't know where to look for it. Success is really nothing more than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. This means that any person who knows what he's doing and where he's going is a success. Any person with a goal toward which he's working is a successful person. This means that the boy in high school who's working toward a diploma, and the boy in college toward a degree, is just as successful as any human being on earth, because he knows what he's doing, why he's getting up in the morning, and where he's going.
If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. You've got to understand that you've already got it. Use your imagination. See yourself already in possession of the good you desire. That will flip your mind onto a specific frequency. It's on that frequency that good you desire is going to start coming toward you, and you will start moving toward it. You've got to see yourself now already with it. And know it's only a period of time until you moving toward it, and it moving toward you, and you become one with it.
If you believe that you're good at what you do, and you strive to be good at what you do, you don't need to worry about what other people think. You need to be able to understand that you have your own confidence that you can do whatever it is you're required to do. And other people will see that confidence in you. The minute you start doubting yourself, other people will see that you're doubting yourself. And that becomes a weakness in the personality. If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, okay, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. See how you'd like to live your life. See yourself living it that way. Okay. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind. Take that picture and describe it. Write it out. Start to read it. And read it. And read it. And read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it. We become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first. It might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. Now, a lot of people will laugh at this and say, that doesn't make any sense. It makes a lot of sense. They can't tell you why it doesn't. I could spend hours telling you why it does.
You've got to get emotionally involved with this new image. You've got to see it happening. If you dial someone's number, you're not going to get me. You got to dial my number to get me. If I don't dial your number, I'm not going to get you.
Most important thing is to have a routine. Consistency, not obsession. Good. Don't be like Cristiano, because Cristiano is crazy, okay. But 20%, 25% is too much. Even my friends say that I'm sick to live that life. For me, it's not a big deal. I do it in a comfortable way, in a happy way. For me, it's not sacrifice. You say, yeah, sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course, no. But I go because I have a compromise with myself. But I'm not so happy every day. You think I'm wake up off the bed every day happy, or with my wife or with my kids? Sometimes I'm not. But it's part of the overtime. We are both the same. We feel this every time. Make effort in your health.
Your present or past results have absolutely nothing to do with what's going to happen from this point forward. Now, that was the point that Ray Stanford drilled into my head. You see, I kept thinking, well, gee, I'm such a mess up. You know, I've done everything wrong up till now. I'm 26, I'm broke, I'm not happy. Everything was wrong. He said, Bob, that's all in the past. Every moment is a new moment. What you were yesterday, you paid for. What you are today, you decide what.
I first learned about this law, I was so excited I wanted to wrap it up and tie it up and not tell anybody. This is the first time in any form that I've ever explained this law to other people. This one fact alone can change your life because it has changed mine. Here is the method. It's so simple, it's astonishing. It is this, is whenever you think of something that you really desire, imagine that you have it already. Just imagine, close your eyes, drive it along, think about it if necessary, stand, relax, do whatever you want. But just imagine that you already accomplished it and try to get the feeling. And if you will play that feeling over and over again, this law of reversibility will create this feeling. As you dwell upon the feeling more and more, the feeling will actually begin to change things inside you and outside of you, draw you toward your goal and draw your goal toward you, and the objective will come into reality exactly at the right time and place. You don't even really have to worry about the process between the two or what the steps are. All you have to do is hold that feeling very, very intensely.
If the vision isn't clear, the old prophet said, without a vision we die, without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing. From the movie The Professionals, we joined because we believed. We stayed because we were committed. We left because we were disillusioned. But we came back because we were lost. Without a dream, we are nothing.
When I was a kid, I used to always visualize stadiums. And like, even when I was playing football, I'd kick the ball against the wall and I'd pretend I scored a goal, and I'd run off and I'd be raising my hand and visualizing a arena full of fans. And that was something I'd done as a kid out on my own. I like just running around kicking the ball. I always had these visions of something, but I just didn't know what it was. And then I suppose when I came to these events, and I started training, and then came to an event, I was like, okay, this is it.
Before you go to sleep every night, visualize yourself being, doing, and having the good which you desire. And whatever idea you lift up before you go to sleep, that idea is impressed upon the subconscious, and it draws that to you. You'll wake up in the morning, and the right ideas will just be clicking in your head. You'll meet the right people for the right purposes at the right time. You'll meet strangers, but they'll be right for your right purpose. People will do things for you and they won't even know why. Always visualize just before going to sleep. That's the one most important time, if there is a one most important time.
It may not necessarily be relevant to the reality you are creating on Earth, but it is nevertheless real in some parallel dimension, some other reality, whatever you wish to label it. Whatever you imagine is also happening simultaneously with the reality that you are actually physically experiencing.
There are 4 parts of visualization that you can learn and practice to assure that you use this incredible power to its best advantage all the days of your life. First aspect of visualization is called frequency. This refers to the number of times that you visualize a particular goal as achieved, or of yourself performing in an excellent way in a particular event or circumstance. Second element of visualization is the duration of the mental image, the length of time that you can hold the picture in your mind each time you replay it. The third element of visualization is vividness. There seems to be a direct relationship between how clearly you can see your desired goal or result in your mind and how quickly it comes into your reality. Now, the fourth element of visualization is intensity, the amount of emotion that you attach to your visual image. In reality, this is the most important and powerful part of the visualization process. Sometimes, if your emotion is intense enough and your visual image is clear enough, your goal will immediately come true. Visualization brings you whatever you vividly and intensely imagine, whether good or bad. Continually feed your mind with clear, exciting, emotional pictures. Remember, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions.
Speak out loud, believing in your heart that what you say is going to happen, and it will. So think about what you say. Nah, I'm so dumb. Boom. You just spoke that into existence. Things don't work out for me. You just spoke that into existence. I miss all the opportunities. You just spoke that into existence. When you speak, your whole brain vibrates. The neural pathways that get established in the brain when you speak things, it is dramatically different than if you just think it. What you say is what you get. The tongue is a creative force. What do you say when you talk to yourself? Do you call yourself names, or do you give yourself a pep talk?
If you can get a mental image of the person you would most like to become, begin now to act as that person would act in everything you do. Gradually, imperceptibly, you will actually become that person. It goes back to what the great German poet and philosopher Goethe once said. Before you can do something, you must first be something. Before you can do what you would most like to do, you must first become the person who can do it. You can even look much better by simply acting like the person you would most like to look like and be like.
Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. And you get these images going, you're building a vision in your mind. It's the visionaries that change the world. Think of that. The fact that I can sit and look into this camera, and you can sit and look at me on your phone, or on your TV, or on your laptop. That was the result of somebody's vision. But you know, everything you've got, the clothes you wear, the house you live in, this microphone that's in front of me, it was all the result of somebody's vision. It's not an accident. You and I have a marvelous imagination. And everything starts with a vision. Van Gogh was asked how he did such beautiful work. He said, first I dream my painting, and then I paint my dream. What do you want to do with your life?
The wise man said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Someone called Einstein. He said imagination is more important than knowledge. Why? Because imagination is what creates everything. Imagination is the doorway to reality. Everything created was at the beginning an idea or a thought.
Any person who is the recipient of an act of kindness has their serotonin levels increased just because they received an act of kindness. And their immune system is strengthened. If you are the provider of an act of kindness towards anyone, but particularly towards the people that you're close to in your life, and particularly towards strangers, with just a smile, the serotonin level in you are increased in the same degree that they are in the receiver. And so is your immune system strengthened. You want to strengthen your immune system? Be kind. But even more dramatic than that is that the observer of an act of kindness has their serotonin levels and their immune system strengthened just because they're in the energy field of someone who is displaying kindness. When you see someone being kind to another person, it's like a dose of an antidepressant.
That's another root of human struggle, worrying about other people's perceptions about who you are. Like, why would you ever care about that, you know? And I think that I fell victim to that in my past of worrying about things that I can't control. It's okay to be human. Like, I don't have to be perfect for anyone here, nor do I have to be perfect for the public. So I'm not here to dispel any perception. I'm just here to be myself.
There's nothing by accident, dude. What you visualize will become your reality. It just will. If you're willing to put in the actual mind. If you go back and track your thoughts and you audit your thoughts honestly, you are living the existence that you believe you deserve to live right now. So when you learn to control that, just like we're talking about this, through learning, accepting it as true, and then practicing the skill set, you get better and better and better and better.